Hey, my name is Jobby, and to commemorate Evangelion coming to Netflix to terrorize innocent people once more, why don't we talk about Worst Girl again? I gotta give a huge shout out to Rachel Sims for sending me this figure to my P.O. box, and just as a reminder guys, my P.O. box is done. But no time to dwell in the past, time to move onward and talk about a character that I talked about in the past. This particular version of Rei Ayanami is produced by a company called Phat Company, and from the figures I've seen of their Parfom line, that's a very appropriate name. For some strange reason, all of the figures in the Parfom line are dummy thick. Damn, boy! I'm extremely okay with this. Whoa, what the fuck? And on the topic of thick anime girls, check this shirt out, boy. That's about it. And if you're wondering where I got this, well, it's from PocketPunch.com. Links in the description. They've got other shirts available there, all of them pretty cool. I recommend you check that out. Full transparency, I do not get paid by Pocket Punch. He just happens to be my good friend Oscar. The pastel-covered box with a cute anime girl in it is giving me heavy Figma flashbacks. Even the included stand reminds me of a Figma stand. And let me tell you right now, without that stand, Rei here cannot stand for shit. These tiny feet may be cute, but they're not functional at all. So what you gotta do is plug the stand into this hole. Kind of a tight fit at first, but you gotta break her in, you know what I'm saying? Once you get the figure standing by positioning the hinge joint, she's disgustingly adorable. Not much new to say about her design that I didn't already say in the Reveltech Rei review, links in the description. It's the classic Rei plug suit with chibified proportions. Big head, tiny limbs, booty. I don't want to dwell too much on this, but I had to say that this is the best figure butt that I've ever seen. Who am I kidding? I do want to dwell on this. It's amazing how it maintains its roundness even when you rotate the leg. 02 could learn a thing or two or four from this butt sculpt. And before I get too carried away, I have to point out that the painted detail on this figure is really nice. Those little bits of orange and green are clean and crisp, and I gotta give a special mention to those slightly metallic rivets on the shoulders. However, the red on her collar is a little bit sloppy, almost looks like blood. Come on. It's a Rei figure, not a Kaworu. Too soon? And as much as I like the thickness, the upper body seems to have suffered for it. There's barely anything going on at the chest. Suck on my dick. The ball joint here is obscenely loose and it definitely requires some sort of fixing. Go ahead and leave your suggestions in the comments. Probably won't read them since I already know how to fix loose ball joints, but I need that engagement, guys. Come on. The chest is kind of a shame, not just because of the size of it, but everything else is solid and smooth. I mean, the rotation at this head is crazy tight. You definitely don't want to even try to pop that off. And speaking of the head, shit. So the hair is fantastic, but the face seems kind of blurry. Is it just me? I know it's kind of hard to tell seeing that my camera is not the best quality, but as I look at the figure in front of me, her body seems to be at 4K while her face is at 240p. With the blurry face and the chest issue, could this figure possibly be a bootleg? Serious question here. I'm not as familiar with the Parfom line, but I can tell you that the last anime figure that was bootleg that I've ever played with, it had a similar issue with the face, but it also crumbled in my hands when I breathed on it, so pretty hard to tell here. Leave it down in the comments if you know. Give me that engagement, buddy. If this figure does happen to be a bootleg, then it's the best looking bootleg ever. The face might be slightly blurry, sure, but there's a subtle blush there that makes her feel so alive. And I'd say that's quite a feat, seeing as Rei Ayanami is completely dead inside. This face sculpt still feels like Rei, even though it's through this chibi art style. You get a better look at it once I snatch her weave. And obviously you can switch out this default face for an equally lively, annoyed face. I can't quite call it angry, she just seems kind of upset. And a heartwarming smile. I think this expression is what they were going for in the original smiling scene, but Hideaki Anno is a fucker. You can also switch out these default closed hands for a pair of open hands or a pair of grabby hands. She even comes with something to grab. A super tiny pair of cracked glasses, which in the show belong to Gendo Ikari, Shinji's dad. The subtext here is beyond disturbing. I say this in the same video where I ogled her ass for a good minute. Because they're so small, I don't recommend you fuck. And finally, you get a bunch of these. They're supposed to help you connect the Parfom stand with other Parfom stands, according to these extremely detailed instructions. It's kind of a subpar variety of accessories, but what are you gonna do? Not that bad. Let's just move on to her ball joint at the head. Rotation. Can look up that far and look down that far. Ball joint at the shoulder. Of course, that can rotate. Arm moves out. Barely there, bicep. Bend at the elbow. Hinge joint at the wrist. Rotate that, and you could... oh, fuck. And you could get some side to side. Previously mentioned ball allows for a crunch and a slight arch. Wish you could arch her back more, know what I'm saying? Of course, that could turn 360. Ball joint at the hips. Allows for a kick and can move back that far. Look at how natural that butt looks. Thigh rotation, bend at the knee, could have been deeper, up and down at the ankle, rotation, and somewhat of a pivot. But the most disappointing thing about the posability here... what the hell is that spread? It's almost nothing! Anything for the booty, I guess. I could respect that. The posability here is not bad in the slightest, but it could have been way better. It needs more of a Figma quality to fully satisfy my posability needs. As is, though, you can still get some pretty fun poses. So why don't we whip out the ruler and get into our size comparisons. Here's the Evangelion Unit 1 Bandai model kit, Sentinel Ryobot Shiryu, Madoka Godzilla Prime, and the Revoltech Fraulein Rei. Overall, this figure is awesome. I really like this adorable piece of plastic, but the relatively limited articulation prevents me from fully loving it. Very high quality booty though. Definitely recommend this figure for any Evangelion fans, if you could find it. She doesn't seem to be available from either of my two dads, but a quick Google search should fix that. Oh, that's most likely a bootleg. So if you like this video, leave a like, give me a comment, let me know what you think, and subscribe for even more Evangelion reviews. Trust me, I'm gonna ride the Netflix hype for as long as I can. You're killing me, Bandai! And the best and last thing I'll say about the Parfom Rei Ayanami is that the figure is so good that it gives off the illusion that Rei is a likable character. Oh! Like